What's going on, everyone? I am just a typical, average American here today to react to Canada's response to Trump's threats to take over Greenland. Well, honestly, it's actually pretty insane that we're even having to discuss something like this, but in the past few days, it has become increasingly clear that Donald Trump absolutely wants to own Greenland. It's not a joke. It's not an exaggeration like a lot of us Americans originally thought. And personally, I think it's outrageous and unbelievable that Trump has actually implied using military force to take Greenland. I mean, you can't make this up. This is the world that we're living in. That's unbelievable. And I'm sure that it's just as disturbing to a lot of Canadians out there because at one point, Donald Trump threatened Canada in sort of a very similar kind of way, right? And now it's actually playing out against Greenland. So today, I really want to take a look at some videos, including one here where the Prime Minister of Canada, Mark Carney, speaks about this and talks about the US and Greenland. So I want to hear what Canada thinks about this whole situation. Before we play Mark Carney, let's take a look at this clip, which kind of demonstrates exactly why everybody should be taking this very seriously, and some remarks that Donald Trump made about Greenland just the other day.
U.S.
I'm not talking about money for Greenland yet. I might talk about that. But right now, we are going to do something on Greenland, whether they like it or not, because if we don't do it, Russia or China will take over Greenland. And when
Whether they like it or not, we're gonna okay. There's so many things here. First of all, I guess there are two reasons why Donald Trump wants Greenland. If you don't know, the one that Donald Trump says is his reason is that it's a matter of U.S. national security. We need to own Greenland for our protection. Because like China or Russia are gonna use it against us, or it's a strategic military zone that we need, and we need to fortify it and use it to defend ourselves. We need Greenland for our protection from others who would use it against us. Yeah, except that the United States already has like a big military presence in Greenland. We have agreements with them already, treaties and deals where the US has a huge capability to have our military and our stuff in Greenland already. We don't have to own it. We can just, they are very open to us protecting it. So none of that really makes a ton of sense, but if you look past it, who could possibly fathom that Trump might have an ulterior or alternative motive? And the more obvious one is that what he's not saying is Greenland has a lot of natural resources and a lot of minerals, and it's a lot of land, and it's got a lot of stuff. And if we own Greenland, we own that stuff, which I think Trump would like very much. No matter how you cut it, no matter what the reasons are, it's outrageous. Like it's a sovereign country. I know they have like that sort of weird relationship with Denmark, and I think Greenland is like working on getting its full independence, and it doesn't matter. I think that's what I'm trying to say. This is crazy. It's insane that we're doing this.
Not going to have Russia or China as a neighbor. I would like to make a deal, the easy way. But if we don't do it the easy way, we're going to do it the hard way.
What the hell does that mean? What are you saying? And I have to say, I think many Americans are just like me in regards to this, where most of us do not in any way support taking over Greenland by force. If we want to offer them a ton of money and they voluntarily do it, or if they want to vote on it, or sure, that's their prerogative if they want. But the idea that we would use any kind of coercion or force to take Greenland, whether they want it or not, that's an outrageous thing to say. And Trump says a lot of outrageous things, and I think this is one of the more outrageous things because it means war. I mean, let's not tiptoe around the brass tacks of the situation. That means war. It means so much. The implications of this are insane. So yeah, I think a lot of Americans don't support this. Even a lot of Americans who support Donald Trump, even they, from what I've seen, don't talk about this. Don't care about Greenland. Nobody cares. Nobody wants it. No American, or I'd say most typical average Americans, at least, that from what I have seen and what I can say, don't want this. Don't in any shape or form, and don't think this is good. This is just a unhinged Trump thing.
We're not going to have Russia or China occupy Greenland, and that's what they're going to do if we don't. So we're going to be doing something with Greenland, either the nice way or the more difficult way.
That's the scary. I think that's the part that got me wanting to at least talk about this, and because it's we did elect Trump into power, even if a lot of Americans don't agree with this. We are responsible as well. It is our country doing this, and yeah, we could be rioting and protesting in the streets and making YouTube videos talking about how crazy this is, but to a certain extent, I think a lot of Americans feel really helpless about is there nothing we can do or say to stop the madness of taking over Greenland at least? What? I think a lot of Americans are in denial about it. That's what I think, actually. A lot of Americans are in denial about this whole situation still, which is silly because it's insane, but Trump has proven he's willing to do insane things that you would never think anyone would do. So it's time to stop pretending like this couldn't happen. This is a recent meeting between Mark Carney and the Danish Prime Minister talking about Greenland's future. So I want to hear what Canada has to say about this situation.
Madam Prime Minister, welcome to this little corner of Canada in Europe. We have a big relationship between Canada and Denmark. Amongst other things, we share a maritime border of 3,000 kilometers.
Yeah. I never realized, for one thing, how freaking big Greenland is. I looked at a map of it recently. Oh my God. And this big maritime connection to Canada, right? Yeah.
Long trading relationship, diplomatic relationship, security relationship, obviously, through NATO, through your presidency also of the Arctic Council.
So Greenland and Canada have the Arctic connection as well, both extending extremely far north. That makes sense. Yeah, I never thought about that.
Participation through the Nordic Baltic 8 plus. You are about to host our Minister of Foreign Affairs, actually in Greenland, Minister of Foreign Affairs, and our Governor General, who represents Canada, will be visiting in the start of February. And we're looking for, and of course, we're partners in the coalition of the willing. The future of Greenland and Denmark are decided solely by the people of Denmark. In Greenland, we know that. It's why we...
Absolutely. Yes, of course. Absolutely. It is sad that, that even has to be said. But at the same time, I think it's very good and very valuable for world leaders to get up on camera, get up there and say this out loud and say this is maybe they're not saying it as like forcefully or as I would like I wish he'd be up there like stop the madness, stop, just grabbing Trump's stop the madness, coughing in his face. Stop. But this works too, and it's good. I think you got to get up there and say this stuff to make sure, like everyone, to make sure at least Trump knows that countries out there aren't okay with it and would even consider like doing something in retaliation, perhaps.
We cooperate, as I said at the start, and I'll finish here, why we cooperate culturally, why we cooperate economically, and why we cooperate in security.
I don't have a lot to add. I totally agree with you. We are very close allies and friends. I would like to thank you for your work within the Coalition of the Willing, your support to European security. We work very closely together in the Baltic states as well, and you have been very clear in your statement when it comes to the respect of national sovereignty and the respect of our common values.
Yeah, from what I've seen, it's very clear that people in Greenland don't like this. They don't like the U.S. saying this. They don't want to be part of the United States from a lot of stuff that I have seen. So, and she's kind of reiterating that.
The only values where you can build a global world society on. So I really appreciate your strong support. I think we are both very into securing the Arctic region, and together with other NATO allies, we can secure the region. So hopefully everybody is willing to work together, and I think you are a very good friend, a very close ally to not only Denmark but Europe. So thank you for that.
Wouldn't that be nice if like if the Greenland prime minister talked to us that way and was like, America, you're such a good ally and a good relationship, and together we defend the Arctic and the this and the no. Instead, it's like we have to own Greenland. Like you can't make it up. And this is one more short little video clip where they were asking questions to Mark Carney about the U.S. annexation of Greenland and if that would bring an end to NATO. Yeah, like again, the far-reaching implications of this are at at best ruining the relationship between the U.S. and the world, and at worst starting World War III. I don't like maybe.
The Danish Prime Minister has said that any type of military force used to annex Greenland would be the end of NATO. Do you concur with that assessment?
Well, let me...
So the U.S. attacking Greenland would be the end of NATO because we're all in NATO together, and it's like then NATO countries are attacking each other?
reiterate what I said to Mr. Noel, which is that the future of Greenland is a decision for Greenland and for Denmark exclusively. It's their decision.
So that's a very tactful way of saying if the U.S. does carry out these threats, that's not okay. And I don't think is he going to say anything stronger than that? I don't know, because obviously this is like an extremely delicate situation.
Secondly, from a NATO context, the way I would frame it is that the western flank of NATO, which would include Greenland, the Arctic, is, given the evolving threat environment, is an area that we as NATO, Canada obviously importantly, given our geography, need to invest more. This is a point that we've been making in recent years and since I became Prime Minister that we've really stressed. And with our buildup that's just beginning of our military capabilities. We are making heavy investments in the Arctic. We'll be working with our Nordic partners. We'll be working through NATO. This is one of the issues I'll be discussing with the Secretary General as part of an ongoing discussion with him around this to further advance.
Interesting. He did give us a little something more there about like Canadian military investment in the Arctic area, which it kind of implies a little bit that Canada is interested in using their military to help defend Greenland in a roundabout way. I know there's been like strongly worded letter to Trump from European leaders and European countries who want to send their military to Greenland preemptively to deter the U.S. And I don't know. Again, it's just so wild to even talk about all this in a serious manner. Like this could seriously happen. A part of me still wants to think it would never come to like bullets flying for trying to capture Greenland and killing American soldiers, killing people to take over this country. And I think a part of my American brain still refuses to even accept that could happen, but obviously there is a world where it could. But I don't know. I don't know where this is going to go from here. Maybe that's why I was kind of compelled to even do a video about this, just to think about it, I don't know. And also to hear about like what other countries like Canada think about this. Obviously, it's not okay. Obviously, we all agree that it's not good and not okay, but it's like what's going to happen? Well, it sounds like Greenland has a lot of allies like Canada who are there and sort of ready to step up if things happen, but man, and I know the U.S. has offered to buy Greenland, and they said no, and yeah, it's just, I think with the last few days and Trump being so sincere about his intention to take Greenland one way or another, it's like an out-of-body experience. It's like, I'm American, and I'm like looking at America, like, what are you doing? Like, what have we become? What's happening? I'm sure a lot of Americans feel that way right now because there's been a lot of crazy stuff happening. Yeah, so anyway, if you enjoyed this, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts, especially if you are Canadian and you're looking at this whole situation. What do you think about this and what's happening in the US and what we're doing? And that'd be interesting to hear about. That'd be valuable. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Canada and seeing Canadian things that I've never seen before, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.